In this little pouch, I have my all-time favorite flash accessory. It saves me every single time when it gets dark and I'm asked to take a group photo at a wedding. And the result? Studio looking. Clean, crisp, soft, beautiful light. And the best part is that I can use it with my regular flash. I can set it up in a few seconds and use it with just my hands. It's a compact softbox that attaches to my flash, like my regular flash. And there's plenty of them out there depending on what type of flash you use. But the one I use is called Clic Softbox Octa by Profoto because I use Profoto flashes. And actually I have also the new one. They just came up with this one. This is a bigger one. It's called Clic Softbox 1 by 3. And I'm gonna test that one too and show you the results and comparison between two of them in that video. But first, I just wanna talk how useful having a softbox like this is at weddings. So I don't know how about you, but I do use my flash a lot at weddings. And I'm not only talking about today's modern flash look that is, taking the entire industry by storm. So shooting straight all day long, during the day, indoors, outdoors. Not only that, but also simply when it just gets dark and I need clean photos at receptions. And I am personally a one flash guy, meaning I do have one backup in my bag, but I only use one flash at a time. Usually on camera, but sometimes just in my hand like that. So what happens when it gets dark for me? I typically use 3 techniques. I either bounce my flash off the ceiling, or I shoot straight, or I hold the flash in my hand and shoot from the angle. But sometimes there's no ceiling. You cannot bounce. Sometimes you don't want to shoot straight because you don't want that harsh light look. And then shooting with your flash in your hand also gives you that harsh light that you maybe not necessarily want in that scenario. So this is where softbox like this can really save your day. So let me maybe start with showing you the difference in look in a simple portrait using all of these flash techniques so you have full visual idea of what I'm talking about. This is ambient, boom, okay? It's a well-lit room, and my portrait, I raised my ISO. I could, play with that. I can play with the settings to nail it better, but I can make it better by simply using the flash. So let's start with shooting my flash straight. This is the look. Again, I can play with the settings. I can play with the balance. I can kill the ambient light. I can use the ambient light. I can add the motion blur. So I have many options. But if I don't want that look, I can try something else. So next, you maybe want to try using flash in your hand like this. But again, you kind of get this harsh look, which is fine in certain scenarios, but maybe not here. And also you can obviously bounce the light from the ceiling and it will look great if you have a ceiling that that is working out. Sometimes the ceilings are great for bouncing, sometimes they're not. So what happens when you just simply use this? Boom. This is the result. The difference is insane. So this is just the bare flash in your hand and this is the flash with the Octa also in your hand, the same position, the same settings. And you can play with the settings to adjust the balance. You can make the background a little brighter or darker, so depending what you want. If you are a little lost about me talking about that balancing, I have prepared a free masterclass for you. 30 minutes, I explain how to work with this tool and how to get the right balance, which settings to use, and how to adjust the settings to have the result you want. You can find the link in the description and sign up for that. And then there's going to be tons of situations at weddings that you can literally use this and get a portraits like this one, or a group shot like this one, or another group shot like this one, or another portrait like this one. So having a softbox like this can just elevate your result, and it doesn't matter what kind of, indoors or outdoors scenario you find yourself in. And then we're looking at this new one. So the new one is a strip, it's a strip light, so it's 1 by 3. Disclaimer, if you're wondering, Profoto did not sponsor anything in this video. I've not been sponsored by Profoto, but they did send me this one. I have a good friendly relationship with them. I hosted few workshops shops in their headquarters in Stockholm, and I absolutely love the product. So whenever I get a chance to test something out, I'm all in because the quality is insane. Okay, so that 1x3 softbox, it has quite a bigger pouch, and overall, you know, when we look at it, it's not that small. So the strip design focuses the light, giving you more flexibility when lighting your subject. It's a great tool if you want to have more directional control, but to be honest, when shooting straight or at that top angle that I often shoot at weddings, the difference is like very nuanced. Here is side by side, so this one versus Octa, I truly I can tell the difference, but only if I focus and look for details. But the power of that strip comes when you need to control that edge of the light more. And I actually had a photo shoot 2 weeks ago for my upcoming project about portraits with projector. Stay tuned for that because it's going to be awesome. I think it's coming next week. And I wanted to shoot my subject from behind. So I wanted to have that, you know, that kind of rim lighting effect, but I didn't want to light up the wall because I was projecting onto the wall. So I didn't want to add additional light on the wall coming from my softbox. So like I could use something like that back then. I didn't have it, but that would come really, really useful. So I decided to try it out in a similar scenario. So here are a few photos with projected background, tilt lens, that 1x3 softbox, and some motion blur for effect, because I personally love having fun like this, mixing different things in a portrait to make it, let's say, weirder, you know, not ordinary, not typical portrait. So I really like that. And you can see here the light coming from that strip. It's really, you know, just lighting the edge of my subject. So I could really precisely control how that light works thanks to the, you know, the build of that 1x3. So that's 1x3. To be honest, for wedding group photos, so what I use this most, both will work fine because like the effect, like shooting like this is identical. I kind of feel that this 1x3 can come handy to shoot it like this if you have wider group. So if you have more people and you want to shoot them, this is nice and round, but it's not that wide to get from one side to the other side. So I feel like shooting like this could really work at weddings. Either way, ever since I got this 3 years ago, there's no coming back. It's always with me. The ability to shoot portraits like this, regardless the lighting or interior, you know, is it dark? Can I bounce? Can I not bounce? Is a massive advantage, especially at weddings when you have literally no control over that. You have no control over the light, you have no control over the interiors, like in most of the cases, right? And then if you don't use Profoto strips, you definitely will find similar softboxes for regular flashes. They're out there. I saw people using them. So just make sure you pick something that fits your flash unit. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to check out my free masterclass linked below, and I will see you guys soon. Ciao.